This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome, I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday.
I'm Missy Kohler. Can you believe we're already wrapping up the first month of 2021?
I can't believe it.
January 29th.
Well, in early January, the Nye County Sheriff's Office was looking for two persons wanted in connection with the possible kidnapping. Since the pair has been arrested, there have been more developments in the case.
Keith Holman, 49, and Kristen Pfaff, 36, were arrested by Henderson police on January 5th. Sheriffs began looking for the alleged kidnapping victim in October of 2020. At the time, it was believed that the victim had been taken to an unknown location in Pahrump and was being held by Holman and Pfaff. Working along with Las Vegas Metro Police, the Nye County Sheriff's Department exhausted all leads in the search for the victim. On January 1st, the victim's mother contacted Nye County Dispatch. She said that her daughter was sending her messages on social media, and this was the first time anyone had heard from her since she went missing in March of 2020. The victim was able to describe the residence in which she was being held, and deputies located the house at 2661 Belle Vista Avenue. The victim alleged that Hoffman and Pfaff would travel between Pahrump and Las Vegas and leave her behind with very little food in a building with bars on the windows. The victim also alleged that during her confinement she was forced to perform manual labor and was battered if she refused. In an update from the Nye County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Chris Arabia has told News 25 that after further investigation, no evidence has been found to support kidnapping. At this time, Kristen Pfaff has not been charged, and Keith Holman has been charged with 2 counts of a felon in possession of a firearm. Holman is expected to make a court appearance for the gun charge on February 3rd.
The state of Nevada placed Nye County under fiscal watch in 2019 after finding accounting practices that weren't meeting the letter of the law. Nye County Treasurer John Prudhomme has spent his 2 years in office addressing those issues, and the work by he and his staff has paid off.
Well, Nye County was put on fiscal watch about 2 years ago, actually right after I ended up coming into office, so I kind of inherited that. But I'm pleased to announce that as of this morning, Nye County is officially off fiscal watch.
So what actually led to Nye County being placed on fiscal watch?
Well, every year we have an audit, and in that audit there were certain things that were identified for the Treasurer's Department that were not being accomplished. One of those was the monthly Treasurer's Report and Bank Reconciliation Report, which is a very, very important report about the financial health of the county on a monthly basis. And that had not been done in a year prior to me coming to office, and that was one of the items that was cited. Additionally, training for and a succession plan for people in departments to be able to go ahead and perform that really very important report, which it's a very complicated report and a challenge to put together, honestly. But we, in the last few years, have been able to reverse engineer the report, and now it's being completed on a regular basis. And I honestly have to tell you that most of the credit for that goes to my Chief Deputy Treasurer, Raylyn Powers, who's been with us for a little over a year and a half. It's been, I've got to be perfectly honest with you, it's been a challenge. But I expected that. But it's kind of like coming into a business that needs to be reworked, that happens to be failing, and needs to be turned around.
And Prudhomme says the work's not over. He has a list of goals to help move the Treasurer's office forward.
I think the major one that is ongoing is working as a team. And in prior management, I think had a very, very different outlook on how the team could work. And so what I'm finding is that that working together with this group of people who had been here and our additions to create the best team possible for Nye County is coming to fruition. And I'm very, very gratified that I feel lucky that I have such a great team. Moving forward, I feel like we have our challenges. The training for the Bank Reconciliation Report is going to continue to be a challenge, and we're going to continue to meet that challenge. But it takes time to kind of create accountants out of people that don't necessarily have a strong accounting background. And I look at probably the next year, maybe year and a half, we'll be continuing to work on that.
And a husband and wife are arrested after filing false reports.
On January 7th, sheriff's deputies responded to USA Towing to inspect a vehicle. Later, they were told that the vehicle owner was there, and they returned to interview him. Warren Groom, the vehicle owner, allegedly stated that he last saw his vehicle at 8 p.m. When he went to take his trash out at 11 p.m., he discovered his car was gone and he did not know who took it. Groom stated that he had owned the car since 2016 and was current on his payments. Groom said he called 911 to report the car stolen and also filed an insurance claim. Deputies were suspicious that the vehicle was involved in a crash and confronted Groom with that suspicion. They told Groom that if he told the truth, the problem could be worked out. Groom allegedly stated that he had been driving too fast and he struck the curb on Mountain Falls Parkway. He said that his airbag deployed and caused him to lose control of the car. Groom allegedly said that he was driving the car at the time of the crash and that he had been drinking. He said he had a friend following him home before the crash because the friend didn't want him to drive because he'd been drinking. He refused to give the name of that friend but called his wife and asked her to tell the truth about what happened to the car. Diane Groom allegedly said that she was aware that her husband had completed a false police report and false insurance claim. Because of Groom's cooperation, he was told that he would not be charged at that time, but he agreed to surrender in the near future for arrest. He was asked to check in with the deputy and was given a phone number to call. On January 11th, Groom called to check in as agreed. He said he was recanting his admittance of the false report and false insurance claim. Groom agreed to meet with deputies on January 12th to give a new statement. He failed to make contact. Deputies continued to try to make contact with Groom, leaving messages to meet for him to surrender as agreed. He had failed to answer the calls and would leave off-hours messages with dispatch saying that there is no probable cause for his arrest and he would not cooperate any further. On January 20th, while on the way to Groom's residence to arrest him, he called deputies and said he refused to cooperate any further. When deputies arrived at his residence, Groom responded from inside the home but refused to open the door, saying that he was calling his attorney. Deputies asked Groom's wife to open the door, and when she refused, they were told that both would be under arrest for resisting a peace officer. They still refused. After approximately 13 minutes, Groom opened the door and came outside where he was taken into custody. Groom's wife, Diane, was also informed that she was under arrest. She slammed the door closed, but a deputy blocked it with his body and took her into custody. The investigation determined that Groom crashed his vehicle into an unattended property and left the vehicle without notifying law enforcement. He then completed a false police report and insurance claim. The investigation showed that Groom's wife knew and participated in the false report and filing of the false insurance claim. Both were taken to Pahrump Detention Center. Warren Groom was charged with duty to stop at an accident with attended vehicle, false report of a crime, insurance fraud, resisting a public officer, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. Diane Groom was charged with false report of a crime, insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and resisting a public officer.
And we'll be back with more News 25.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Financial regulators are trying to cool off some hot stocks. GDP jumps 4% in the fourth quarter, and Lowe's is gearing up for spring.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, trading exchanges, regulators, and lawmakers are all trying to figure out how to stop the madness of explosive moves in GameStop, AMC, and other soaring stocks. Shares finally pulled back on Thursday. Hedge fund S3 Partners reportedly lost $23 billion by shorting shares of unstable companies as tons of young Americans, some using the Robinhood app, stepped in to buy and make money. GDP grew 4% in the fourth quarter. Economists predicted 4.3%. Americans applying for unemployment checks totaled 847,000, slightly better than expected. Lowe's is hiring 50,000 workers for the home improvement retailer's busy spring season. That stock is up 41% for the past year. The company is handing out its 7th bonus since the pandemic started.
Well, the Biden-Harris administration has announced a special enrollment period allowing Americans to enroll and purchase on-exchange health insurance plans from their respective on-exchange marketplaces. On behalf of the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange and Nevadans statewide, they say that they're pleased to see a positive change taking place at the federal level and to witness the fast-moving actions to protect the Affordable Care Act, upon which so many Americans rely for quality, affordable, comprehensive health insurance coverage. For more information, you can go on to the health exchange websites.
If you've lost your job or just want to switch careers, Nye Communities Coalition may be able to help. Adult Workforce Programs Manager Ed Kelly says some new grant money is available to assist both employees and employers.
Anybody that has lost their job recently, and it's mainly due to COVID, we have a new grant called National Emergency Grant. It specifically is targeted to help those that are dislocated from their job, to help them. We really want to send people to trainings. Instead of just having a job, let's send you to a training where you can get a skill that's going to be a career. And with these, we also have on-the-job trainings, and it helps the small businesses and any employers. I shouldn't just say small businesses, but we help them with on-the-job training where the employer gets reimbursed up to a certain percentage. And right now, the percentages can even go up to as much as 70%, 75% reimbursement for an allotted amount of time for that employer while they're training this individual. Your job's not available to go back to, so great time to, hey, let's get you some higher skill sets and let's get you trained so you're more employable. We have a lot of money to spend for these trainings, and we really want to help the businesses to get back on their feet and get people that are just better employees for them and skilled labor. Our list goes from A to Z. There's everything from animal care to zoology on there. You just have to go online, take a look. You can make an appointment, come down, visit with us, come to our orientation. Orientation is Wednesdays at 9 a.m. You make an appointment. Because we're social distancing, so we'll get you in, get you the appointment for orientation, find out about our programs and how we can help.
To learn more, give a call to Nye Communities Coalition at 775-727-9970 or go to their website, nycc.org.
Well, the Small Business Administration is taking steps to improve the first draw Paycheck Protection Program loan review so that small businesses have as much time as possible to access much-needed PPP funds. The Biden-Harris administration is focused on ensuring small businesses receive the support they need to keep their doors open and continue to employ millions of Americans across the country. The administration is working with the agency to identify immediate solutions to address eligibility, compliance, integrity, and promote transparency.
Stay with us for more News 25. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
All the rain this week sent us back into the cat room for Save a Pet. We're at Desert Haven Animal Society where we find Darby O'Donnell, who introduces us to Duke.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Duke. Duke is a 2-year-old domestic shorthair. He's all white with gorgeous blue eyes. He's extremely friendly. He just needs to go and get neutered and get his rabies, and then he's all good to go and get adopted. But you can definitely come and visit him and this sweet little boy and all of his friends here in the cat room. He's extremely friendly. He likes to play. When you try and open his cage, he actually wants to kind of get out and explore. He's super curious. So if you want to come and see Duke or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
Thanks, Darby. Well, for most of us, our home is one of the biggest investments we'll ever make. So whether you're buying or selling a home, getting a quality home inspection is a must-have. But that may not be the only inspection that you'll ever want. We'll learn more in today's Angie's List report.
A home inspection is typically required for a home purchase, but what about after that? Joe Polsterol of Focal Point Home Inspection says that's not the last time you should be seeing your home inspector.
I believe a homeowner should have an inspection scheduled every 2 years, preferably in the springtime after the winter season, because our homes take the most abuse in the winter.
While a professional home inspector will best know the most common problem areas to check, you, the homeowner, should be doing your own inspections yearly to maintain your home.
Every year on your own, you can review from the top to the bottom what's the obvious things that happened over the winter time, etc. Okay, and then address those problems, because there was an old commercial years ago, pay me now, pay me later. So if you don't maintain your house, you're going to be writing a big check later to fix it up, of course.
If you don't have any clue what to look for during your own inspections, make sure you are available and around when your home inspection is being conducted. A good home inspector will point out the problem areas as you come across them and give you some tips on how to maintain your home.
Because I instruct my buyers on how to maintain their house and what to look for in the future. So if they do need me, I'm available. But my situation is I kind of trained all the new home buyers into being amateur inspectors.
A typical home inspection should take about 2 to 2.5 hours for a 2,000 square foot home, and they should be checking your home from the inside out.
Your home inspection will include checking your foundation as well as the mechanicals of the house, such as the HVAC system, the plumbing, electrical, even the roofing system. On the interior, they're going to check your appliances, and they'll also, for an extra charge, check your water quality, check for radon, as well as termites.
As soon as you purchase a home, there is often a short window to get your inspection done. So Angie suggests looking for an inspector as soon as you start looking for a house to save yourself from additional stress. When looking for an inspector, you want to make sure they're licensed and certified from one of the national agencies, and also make sure they have an errors and omissions insurance policy.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
We're looking at a beautiful sunset out there on our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. Can't wait to find out what we have in store for our weather after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. On this date in history, William McKinley's birthday back in 1843. He's our 25th president. Signed the Gold Standard Act with a gold pen. And his name's also on Mount Denali, the tallest peak in North America. It's right in the middle of Alaska. But if you're federal, then you call it Mount McKinley. Fun fact for you. Up in Fernley, fun facts, 37 degrees is your fun fact. High temperature today, 20 for a low. Out in Fallon, you saw 42 degrees, 20 for a low. Carson City, feeling nice at 39, 19 degrees for a low tonight. Tonopah, 35 degrees, and you are the low mark again. Hey, congratulations. You're a leader in the field, 15 degrees for a low tonight. Also the cold mark in the state. Goldfield, you're looking at 36 degrees, 16 for a low tonight. Beatty, 44 degrees for a high, 27 for a low. Out in Amargosa, 50 degrees for a high, 30 for a low. A lot of round numbers out in Amargosa. Las Vegas, you're seeing 53-degree temperatures and 36 degrees tonight. Be a little bit chilly. 62 out in Death Valley, 42 for a low. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, where the grass is green and the air is pure and the Ishkabibbles run free, 47 degrees our current temperature. 48 was our high mark today, holding pretty steady here. South-southeasterly winds to 14 miles per hour. Kind of wet. 63% humidity. Oh, yeah. 6:46 a.m. The sun rose gloriously and set this evening just a little after 5:07 p.m. It'll get a little chilly tonight, 32 degrees. Might want to watch the roads as you approach morning. It could get a little icy out there with all this moisture we're having. Winds to 7 miles per hour, they'll be dying off a little bit. But that humidity's staying with us, 65%. And let's take a look at what happens this week. Yep, looks like it's clearing out tomorrow. Some relief, hooray. Clear skies tomorrow. 6 mile an hour winds next couple, 3 days. Temperatures returning back into the low 60s and upper 50s. And then watch out, here comes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with some big winds out of the south and the north-northwest. A little cloud cover, going to be kind of messy. I don't know. I'm looking for the word, but it eludes me. Maybe you've got it, Missy, Indiana.
Thanks so much, Sean. And we want to remind everybody, once again, if you are looking to get a vaccination and you're in that group of 70 and above, you can go to Southern Nevada Health District's website for vaccines, and there's lots of appointments available there. Yes. Of course, you can find out more information and if they're a few days out or not by just going to that website. Of course, NyeCounty.net for vaccinations here in town. And we want to remind everybody that Nature Health Farms is having their private birthday party tomorrow. So if you want to find out more about that, you can go onto Facebook to Nature Health Farms. And that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna Fallon.
I'm Missy Kohler. Have a nice weekend.
Good night.